Hi, everybody. It's Julie. Welcome to Hello Monday. At ellenhutson.com, we're pretty excited. We're gearing up for a brand new Essentials by Ellen release. And today I wanted to share a really fun card using one of the new stamp sets. It's called Basic Alpha, and it has multiples of the letters and numbers, which will give you lots of options when you're trying to custom spell what you want for your cards. And I'm also going to be using the Little Beat die positioning sheet. This is a clear piece of plastic that has a grid on it and different measurements on it. And I'm just going to rotate it. I left the cover on. It has self-adhesive stickum on it, but I don't really need that because my clear stamps will stick to the adhesive cover that's already on this. So I just left it alone and didn't remove that. And I'm going to go ahead and use that grid, rotating it so I can work from this direction to get my alpha letters all lined up where I want them. So I wanted to spell out something in particular, you wonderful thing, you. And so I wanted to have it going on the diagonal instead of straight across, just for something a little bit different and fun. I had seen a poster on Pinterest that I thought was really cute the way they had done that. So I wanted to kind of do my own spin on that idea with this. So now I'm going to transfer all the alpha letters to my MISTI, and as you can see, it's just easier for me to line things up when I can see the letters going the right way instead of backwards. So I'm determining how this is going to fit on a quarter sheet of cardstock, and I want to make sure I leave enough gap there on the left hand side to allow for whatever size paper I'm going to stick in here. And I'm going to close the MISTI and transfer the letters and then carefully lift up that grid on the MISTI and remove the little bee die positioner. Now you don't have to do it that way. You could peel the die positioner sheet off if that works better for you, but I did it that way just to see how it would work, and it did all right. So now I'm going to take my watercolor paper, make sure that I've got enough room there to get it where I want it, and then I can use those magnets to hold it in place so it doesn't move. And I'm going to ink up the images here with a VersaFine black onyx ink, and then close the MISTI and stamp that into place. And then when I lift it up, it's going to be perfectly impressed, or if there were any spots I missed on the stamp, I could actually re-ink. As long as I don't move anything, I could re-ink and stamp over the top of it, and you'd never know that I missed a spot. Now, I was short a letter U for spelling out everything I wanted to, so I just cleaned off the alphabet stamps and grabbed a clean U and put it onto a separate block, inked it up, and I'm just going to fill in that missing space there with that U. And then I decided at this point, I kind of changed direction midstream, that there was too much white space to do what I wanted to do, so I needed to trim it down. So I'm going to use one of those nesting card template dies. It's made by We Are Memory Keepers, and I just chose a much smaller size that would frame in the words and ran that through my die cutting machine. And now I'm just going to very quickly use my Peerless watercolor palette to add some watercolor and create kind of a rainbow effect. And I'm not being particularly careful. I'm just using my Aquash Pentel water brush there and picking up the color. I'm not waiting till it dries. I'm going to let them bleed into each other because I just wanted to have a very sloppy look of this color and just let it blend naturally and not worry too much about it. So it's got a nice blend on there. When it's all dry, I wanted to grab some coordinating paper to layer. Now I decided that I wanted to add some black, so I already had a card that actually had some black diagonal striped lines mounted to it for some other project, and so I just grabbed it and I thought, oh, this is going to work just fine. This is why you save those things, right, for the rainy day or when you need it for a project like this. And I cut that piece of hexagon or cube pattern paper that has kind of that chartreusey color down to size. And I didn't really measure too much. I just kind of eyeballed it and trimmed it down with my tonic guillotine trimmer. I just needed it to be a little bit bigger than the watercolored piece because I want it to be able to peek out the edges, but I didn't need any perfect exact sizing because it's going to go kind of wonky on there. I'm going to wrap some black and white baker's twine around this for just some added benefit to the layout and just kind of fill in the gap down there at the bottom. And then I'll use some tape there to mount that to that piece of chartreuse paper. And it's very askew because I didn't want it to be totally perfect. And then add a little bit more tape adhesive there to the back of that. I'm not really worried about mounting all the edges down carefully on these layers. I don't mind if they curl up because I think it gives some added interest and dimension. And then I'm going to take these really fun sequins that are transparent and mount those in coordinating colors over the top in different spots of my rainbow. And there you can see how fun it is to spell something out in a little bit of a different way. I think it turned out pretty fun. Now, we've got a great hop all lined up for you tomorrow, Tuesday, February 9th at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Lots of eye candy and super great prizes. I hope you can join us, and thanks for watching.